recording. Uh, this morning, Miss Kathy and Miss Linda were in class, and they are afternoon people, but they couldn't come this afternoon, so they came in the morning. So I would like for it to be that easy and that fluid for you to come when you are able, because I do know life gets busy and things come up. If you have to watch it on record, that's great. I'm glad that I learned how to do that, or that somebody gave me the idea to record it and upload it to YouTube. So it's there. Do y'all know that I found out that there are several people that watch my class on YouTube that I didn't even know did? And so that's super cool. So if you're watching this on record and I don't even know who you are, I'm glad you're here. I'm thrilled that I can help people in any way. Not everybody's able to come to a class at a certain time. Also know, for those of you who want to come to a class at a certain time, if there's something that may work better for you, give us the feedback, because we don't know unless y'all tell us. If y'all say we would really like XYZ, then we'll most likely make it happen. I know last year I had did an advanced Friday class, and I had every intention of starting the advanced Friday class up again. But then it was always like something got in the way, until finally I said, I'm not fighting this. I will regroup and try this idea again in January. And I'm so glad that I didn't try to tackle it, because so many things have come up, including my bingo size class got moved to Thursday and Friday instead of Tuesday and Monday and Thursday. So I wouldn't have been able to help them out and make the switch had I been locked down on Fridays. So sometimes we have to listen to the things that are fighting us. And we have to say, there's a reason why this isn't working out. Let me back up, regroup, and figure something else out. And if you can't figure it out, you just let me, and I can help you figure it out. So, but all that to say, I'm here for you, y'all. I am here for you. I'm here for you to have the best Tai Chi experience. I could be real dramatic and be the best life experience, because that's what's on my heart, is that I want y'all to have a good life experience. And if I can just be a little bitty part of that, then that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I've done something worthwhile. So y'all know that, right? All right.
Yes, we do.
Well, let's get started. We're gonna, of course, warm up our bodies by opening and closing. It's really warm outside today. I wasn't expecting it to be so warm, because it was cool yesterday, and both days have the same temperature high. So what kind of weird stuff is that? The same temperature, but one felt cold and one feels very warm. So this time of year is like that. Also want to remind you about this time of year. We have officially changed times to, I don't know if they call it the end of daylight savings time, or the end of happiness, or the end of the end of sunshine. But we have entered this time when there are less daylight hours. And so many people suffer from SAD, it's seasonal affective disorder. And it comes with this time of the year where there's less daylight, so less sun, and the weather gets cooler, and people just get depressed. The sunshine gives us, I don't know what kind of happiness and how it all works, but it messes with the chemicals in our body whenever it just gets dreary and dark. So pay attention to yourself. And if you need to do light therapy, where you intentionally get sunshine when there is outside. Do that. Just pay attention and don't let yourself fall into that kind of depression. Uh, it it's something that I struggle with every year. And this past Sunday, I was like, oh gosh, honey, here it comes, here it comes. And, we got to be aware of it and then take action, not just fall into it like that's just the way that it has to be. So if y'all need help guiding through that, let me know and I can help guide you through that, because I'll be helping myself guide myself through it with these less and less hours of daylight. All right, we good and warmed up now, sunshine or not. No, but it's a beautiful day today. Very, very, very nice and sunshiny. Oh, but we're inside, right? I'm at work. Miss Gwen's in the hospital. Miss Sylvia's at the house. I do have this nice window that's bringing us sun. Let's start with our warm up, starting with our body structure in upright posture, relaxed shoulders. I have a slight bend in my knees. My legs are shoulder width apart. This is a supportive stance. That's how we want to hold ourselves throughout. So let's start with our neck, bringing our hands up, palms down, towards our chin and chest. Turn and push away from us and follow those hands all the way down, chin to chest. Come back up towards our chin and chest. Just check in and make sure you're breathing. Follow those hands all the way down. It's easy to hold your breath, kind of forget. When your bodies are busy, we hold our breath. So just check in and make sure you're breathing. Our neck exercise. We take one hand to our hip. Follow this one as we look over our shoulder, back to the front, and switch side to side. Y'all see me checking my my watch. My husband is having his follow-up appointment from his colonoscopy, and he has been instructed to text me as soon as he knows something. So I am eagerly waiting his text to say everything is okay. That right there feels so good, that nice neck stretch.
Hey,
If we hold too much tension in our
I sure did. I enjoyed it. I tell you, them rutabagas was just what I needed. And I got my white meat,
roll
chicken,
our shoulders.
bacon. So I'm in top shape right now. Except I'm gonna have to get up in a minute. I finally have found
Roll
my
our
friend again.
shoulders back.
Well, it was.
Do it again.
I'm glad you called me though, because I ain't like the 1:30.
All right, I got Miss Sylvia on mute, so she can talk about those good rutabagas. I don't blame her a bit. Y'all know I'm from Kentucky, and whenever I came to Georgia, I had never heard of a rutabaga. So when I think of rutabagas, I think of moving to the South. And I'm sure that there are rutabagas in Kentucky. So don't think that there aren't. It's just that my mama my mama is from Ohio. And so I always say she's a Yankee, and I don't know that Yankees do rutabagas. So anyway, another thing about moving to Georgia this time of year, It was my first time of ever seeing a cotton field where the cotton was, I guess you call it in bloom, or I don't know what you call it. But it was my first time seeing a cotton field, and it is so beautiful. It looks like a field of snow, but obviously it's not. We don't have that cold to go with it. But oh, I just love a cotton field. I think they are so, so beautiful. And I'd never seen a cotton field until I had moved to Georgia. My only times of coming to Georgia were in the summer. And obviously, there's not a cotton field in bloom. If that's not what it's called, y'all tell me what it's called. But I'd never seen a cotton field like that before because it's not like that in the summer. So my family knows I get excited about cotton fields this time of year. So now we're going side to side. This is stretching our spine. Oh, I feel like I'm going fast. I need to slow down. Slow, smooth, and continuous. Now for our hips, shift our weight to one leg, heel forward, hands back, pause in the middle, and toe back, hands forward. Really test our balance, and that's good. That's good to test our balance. And if you struggle with that a little bit, have your chair or something nearby that you can rely on if you do lose your balance. But our goal is to be able to hold our weight on that one leg as we move this other one to the front and back, keeping upright posture. The more able we are to do this move, the less likely we are to fall. And this is just one of the exercises that helps us with falls prevention. Next is shifting weight to the side. And see this, staying within my frame. I'm not leaning, I'm staying upright, stopping right there at the edge, tapping that foot out. Switch, shift, and tap. Continue to breathe. Again, this is another one. Skip the arm movements and hold on to a chair, but do your best as often as possible to shift weight from one leg to the other. Now let's go for our knee movements. There's a weight shift, lift, tap out, and punch. So when you make this loose fist, make it loose. Don't clench your fist. That's creating tension in your hand, and that can hurt your hand, all your little joints. So just keep a loose fist, and then, we're not really punching anyone, so keep that soft bend in your elbow. Lift, tap, and punch. Now our other knee exercise, we step out, keeping both feet on the floor as we shift forward and back, side to side. So here's the weight shift to the side. Here's a weight shift forward, a weight shift back. This movement right here is magic as far as I'm concerned too, because of all the weight shifting and the body awareness in that we're staying upright. We're not leaning into the weight shift. And because of the cross lateral movements, and by that I mean I'm moving this leg and moving this hand, so it's across the cross body movement. That's really good for our brain. And so you may feel very challenged here, feeling like you have an extra foot or an extra leg or arm as you do this, not feeling very coordinated, right? So if you feel that way, keep working towards it, and it's your brain working to do this cross-lateral movement. You may find yourself doing it incorrectly by punching on the same side that your step down and shift weight. And, that's not going to call out the Tai Chi police. No one's going to get mad and say that's wrong, but it really does work your brain to do a cross-lateral movement. All right, ankles, heel toe, working that ankle, heel toe, continuing to breathe. I don't know if y'all can tell, but there's pumpkins on my shirt. So I'm very festive for November today. My husband says all good. Hallelujah, y'all. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Yes, that's what we needed. Because that's it. That was his first colonoscopy. And 51 years of digestive. I'm glad to know that at least one thing has a smiley face sticker, right? All right. Woo! That's how I feel. Shake it off, shake it out, shake it off. I'm gonna send him a little heart emoji. If you always think you can do something real quick. I see the smiley face. Now where's the heart? Oh wait. Heart. There it is. Yay. All right. We're ready now. We're going to go through our basic 6 movements. Keep in mind, if there's anything you need some further explanation on, I am happy to go over those movements. I will go over some of the things that were asked this morning in class in case y'all have the same question. Remember, we have this notes right here of step, switch, turn, and shift. That's our waving hands and clouds movement. I highly recommend having a little cheat sheet in front of you. That can be your brain whenever you're trying to do all the movements, but this can tell you what to do next. Same thing, have a sheet of paper that says commencement. Single whip to the right. Well, after commencement is open and close. Single whip to the right, waving hands and clouds to the right, open and close. Single whip to the left. So make yourself notes on whatever it is that may be helpful to you. You have that as a guide. You don't have to think. You look to your paper, what's next? Next thing you know, you don't have to have that piece of paper. But that's one thing that helped me was to write it on a paper and put it in front of me where I was practicing. All right, here we go from the top. Remember, I'm doing this in mirror image. Commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Close it out. So reminders, when we step, it's an empty step. It's momentarily empty before we give it weight. So that's always true. We always want to have upright posture as we go through our movements. So we have our commencement where we shift, step, empty, shift, and bring the right foot forward. When we do our single whip, just to clarify, we shift to the left and step out to the right. And so, yes, it is out, but it's not straight forward. It is at an angle. So if these are my feet, I'm going to step this foot out, but at an angle. And when I step out and at an angle, it naturally turns my body to that angle. So if I were to step just plain forward, then my body would stay forward with that step. But when I step out and at an angle, you see my body turned and followed that angle. So that whenever I go push my hands out, turn and separate, see, I go up my neck and head, follow the hand opposite of this foot that stepped out. And whenever I do that, then it's an extra nice stretch because I'm going from the angle following that arm. So my torso moves along with my head. And so you can do that move the different ways. So I can here just move my head, keeping my torso still. And you'll feel that stretch in your neck. But if you come out and you take your torso and your head with that movement, then you'll feel a stretch in your spine and in your neck. So make the most of the movement if you're able to. When we do our warm-up move for our neck, where we follow that hand to the side, when we go side to side, that's what we're preparing ourselves for. We're warm-up stretching so that when we do single whip, then our neck is ready, warm, ready, and stretched for that movement. And we do it both ways. We do it to the right first, and then we do it to the left. The torso part of that movement, we practice and get ready whenever we take our ball and go side to side. We're stretching that spine side to side. That's how the warm-up stretching matches up to the movements. Same thing when we do our waving hands in clouds. In the warm-up, we have that ball and turn, just like I was showing you. But in our waving hands in clouds, when we have our hands like this and we turn, that's a torso movement. That's a spinal stretch. And so that's why the warm-ups are so important, is because Dr. Lamb was so smart. Here's Miss Linda. Dr. Lamb was so smart that he planned for our warm-ups to truly get us ready for the movements that he created. So just keep in mind of why they are so important. But those moves are for our major joints. We do 2 for our neck. 2 for our shoulders, 2 for our spine, 2 for our hips, 2 for our knees, and 2 for our ankles. So in general, those are the pieces and parts that we move every day. Pieces and parts that get wear and tear from use and gravity. So if you can take a little time to do warm up and stretching, those exact movements we do for Tai Chi, it'll prepare you for all the movements that you do throughout the day, but also specifically for this class, our Tai Chi. So remember, when for our single whip, we step out at an angle, we allow our body to turn with that foot, to be at the angle of that foot, and then we push and follow. So that torso kind of moves.
Something.
Ma'am?
I said something. I can't find out how to do this. I hear you, but I can't see you.
You can't see me.
I don't know what I've done.
Well, 30 minutes into the class, let's see. I can ask you to start your video. Miss Linda, I hope you're okay. You're on mute and your video's off.
It says I got to put my wireless number in there, but I don't know what that phone number is.
That's weird. I'll tell you what, Clarice has gotten weird.
Well, just don't worry about me. I'll just get what I can out of it. That smile's worth $1 million.
You can see me?
I did, but now I don't know where it went to. It says clipboard. What have I done? Put you on my clipboard?
I guess so.
It's all right, baby. Don't let me miss y'all up.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. All right.
I know what it is now. I didn't get off of Google.
Oh, okay. Are you on your Claris?
Yes.
Okay. So you see me now?
No.
Oh.
But it's something I've done wrong. But that's okay. I can hear you.
Just keep clicking around and see if I don't come back. And if you have to leave and come back, you can. There's Miss Linda. You doing good, Miss Linda?
Yeah, I had company.
That's fine. No problem
Okay.
at all.
Okay.
All right. So let's go back to our basic 6. I'm going to talk you through it, and then we'll do it without talking. All right. Here we go. And commence. Hands come up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Single whip. Shift left, step out right, adjust weight. Push, turn, separate, eyes follow that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot, right hand back. Waving hands and clouds. Step, switch, turn, shift, step and 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 switch, turn, and to the middle for open and close. Single whip. Shift right, step out left, adjust weight, push, turn, separate, eyes follow that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot, left hand back, waving hands and clouds. Step and switch, turn, shift, 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 step and switch, turn, shift. Last time, step and switch, turn, and back to the middle for open and close. Close it out. Something I thought of when we were doing that waving hands and clouds, that first movement, well, it's that transition from single whip to waving hands and clouds. So here, the first single whip is to our right, and our eyes follow that left hand. I pretend that my eyes have magic powers, and I turn and I'm looking at that hand and I'm telling that hand, don't you go anywhere, you stay right there. The only hand that's going somewhere is that right hand. So my right hand comes to my hip and my right foot comes down to my other foot. So they kind of move together. So if you ever have a hard time remembering which hand comes down, see if that helps you to imagine that your gaze has some kind of power that tells that hand to stay right there. So you bring these other two down and back. And then the next move, going into waving hands and clouds, is this hand does come down and then the other one comes up. So that may be helpful. Trying to think of different things that have helped me. And I just pretend that superpower, boom, and then we get ready for waving hands and clouds. All right, so let's do it again, but no talking this time. Just follow me and commence. Open, close, single whip. Waving hands and clouds. You see that superpower right there? Remember, there's 6 steps here. I'm almost positive I said I wasn't going to talk, and I ain't shut up yet.
Go back. Go back.
There's always next time. All right. Open and close. Well, I was thinking about Sylvia not being able to see me. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds.
Do you see me?
No, ma'am. Open, close.
Well, I hope not, because I'm sitting here just any old way.
Well, as long as you're not in the bathroom and we accidentally see you, that would be bad.
No, I just ain't got my dress tail down and stuff like that. Now, I got it down over my knees. I'm all right. Now, go ahead.
Well, I still can't see you, but that's funny. All right. We're going to do it one more time. Our basic 6. Here we go. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands and clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Just staying in the groove of that set of movements and I wasn't completely quiet. I spoke out the names of the movements, but just being in the groove of it, there's that mental quietness that it's just calming and relaxing. So let's go over our first movement in Advanced 6. Our first movement is brush knee. So we started talking about this, and you know what? My pants are not a good thing for today's movement. I didn't realize they were as baggy as they were whenever I picked them out to wear today. So if you need help seeing what my feet are doing, just let me know. But here's what our single whip looks like. Follow me if you want to. But we go to the left first. We're coming from open and close. So here we go, open and close. Single whip. There's our movement. So we're going from facing the front to facing to the left. And we don't want to just jump. That's not very Tai Chi of us. So we have to shift weight, slowly move, shift, one tiny little step at the time to get us there. And so this is our first opportunity to practice the pivot. So in that first move, whenever I shift weight to my left foot and I turn my right toe in, just like that, I'm pivoting on that heel. So my heel is on the ground. There's a tiny bit of weight still there. It's not hovering. There's a tiny bit of weight there, but just enough so I can move that heel as I turn that right toe towards the left. And I think of that as like an arrow, like a direction. That's the way we're going there. That's an important movement, because if we were to not move it to the left, if we were to keep it straight, then when we went to step towards the left, then that may be a little more uncomfortable for our knee, to have it facing the front and then our other foot facing the left. If you have a hard time turning that foot in, if that hurts your knee, then try stepping out a little bit. So it would look more like shift left and then step out right. And what that does right there is widens your base so that, okay, I step out. That way, whenever I go to turn, then it's wider and it puts less pressure on the joints. If that feels better for you, then do it that way. Dr. Lamb wrote the move to say shift left, right toe in, shift right, and then we bring that left toe back. Step left towards the left, shift, and follow step right. So that's the prescription of what our feet are supposed to do for that movement. So we talk about how we put the hands and the feet together, and that makes it easy for us to get that movement. So our hands are here at open and close. When we shift left, when we turn that right toe in, that's when we reach our right hand out and our left hand comes and it hovers over top of that elbow or elbow pit or crook. Well, I don't know, whatever you call that part of your body. I like elbow pit, but I don't know that that's the right term. I think it's the crook of our arm. So we shift left, right toe in, and we reach that right hand out, and the left hand hovers over our elbow pit. Now we shift right. We bring that left foot back, and our left hand goes with it. You remember I said a while ago that there are times whenever our hand and our foot's connected, they go and do the same thing at the same time. When we did that single whip, boom, right here, the hand and the foot move together. So that is a connection there. So it's the same thing in our brush knee. Boom, here, shift, right here, connection. So I brought the left hand down to my hip and the left foot back to get ready for me to step. Now I step left, and this right hand I bring around, and when I get to my shoulder, I start to shift weight to that left foot as I push my right hand. And when I get done with that push, remember I keep the soft bend, and then we follow step right. So that's the period at the end of that movement, is that follow step. Open and close. Shift left, right toe in and reach. Shift right, left foot, left hand back. Step left, bring this right hand around to the shoulder and push as I shift. Follow step right. That is brush knee. Now let's talk about range of motion of your shoulder joint. So if you have problems with the range of motion of your shoulder, you might not be able to reach back here. Also, range of motion in your elbow. If you have problems with that joint, you might not be able to make that big of a movement. What I want you to do is do what you can and think that you're doing that whole movement. So in your mind, you're going all the way back here, but you may only be coming here. You might not even be going back at all. You may just go ahead and come here. What I don't want you to do is to come over and boom. All right? We're not going around, up, over, and around. We're coming to our shoulder and we're pushing out. Remember, we're in the fight that we're never really going to have. But if we're in a fight, we're not going to hammer down on somebody. It'll probably hurt us worse than our opponent. But if we really push at them, then that's doing something. So remember that gentle resistance as you push, follow step. So there's that push. So you just think about whatever range of motion that you're comfortable with and how far you can come back. And from this arm, our right arm, to our left arm, it may be different. One of your arms may be the one that has the glitch in it. One arm may be able to go all the way back and then push, no problem. And the other one may have the glitch. So that's okay. Just do what you can do, but in your mind, you're going all the way back and pushing to finish that movement. So let's practice brush knee. All right. Shift left, right toe in and reach. Shift right, left foot, left hand back. Step left, bring that right hand around and push as you shift weight. Follow step right. All right, let's do it 2 more times. Brush knee. Shift left, right toe in and reach. Shift right, left foot, left hand back. Step left, Bring that right hand around and push as you shift. Follow step right. The more you practice, the better you'll get at it. Again, brush knee, shift left, right toe in and reach. Shift right, separate, prepare. Step, bring it around and push. Follow step. Let's do it without talking. Let's challenge ourselves really good. Brush knee to the left. So I kind of paused. I was going through the words in my head, and that's what you'll do. You'll be talking yourself through it. Hopefully you hear me say, shift left, right toe in and reach. Shift right, left foot, left hand back. Step left, bring that right around. Shift left as I push and follow step right. That's brush knee. Play the lute. So I'm going to face you at the end of I'm just showing it to you, but at the end of brush knee, I land like this. So you saw me just now. I was here. This is what I look like from the front, right here. I follow stepped with my right foot. All my weight is on my left leg. That follow step gets no weight. That follow step foot is my next step. So I'm going to step back with that right foot. And when I step back with that right foot, my hands are going to go from here. So one hand out, stop in the name of love. This one down by my hip. When I step back, my hands are going to turn. And they're going to turn like this. They both turn inwards because they are preparing to pass each other like that. So I go from here at the end of brush knee. When I step back, my hands turn, and then I'll shift to that right foot. And as I shift, my hands will pass each other, and my right hand will stop beside that elbow. And that's when I'll follow step left. So from the side here, we just finished brush knee. Play the lute. I step back right, turn hands. Shift as they pass, and when I get to that elbow, I follow step left. I think it's an easier movement than brush knee, because brush knee, we're changing directions. All right, let's do brush knee and into play the lute. Brush knee. Shift left, right toe in and reach. Shift right, left hand back, left foot, left hand back. Step left, bring that right hand around and push as I shift. Follow step right. Play the lute. Step back right, turn hands. Shift as they pass. And when I get to that elbow, I follow step left. So in play the lute, I'm stepping back. I step back, shift, and follow step. So both steps I take in play the lute are backwards. Step, shift, follow step. So a rule is the follow step foot is the period. That's the end of that movement. The rule is the period, the end of that movement foot is the first movement of our other one, right? Okay, so when when we finished brush knee, I step back. When I finished brush knee, I follow step right. So my first step of play the lute is step back right. Shift as they pass, follow step left. So what's going to be our first move of our next move? Stepping with our left. So every time we follow step, that's a period. That's the end. That will be our next step for that next movement. I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not saying next too many times. But follow step gets no weight unless you need to give it weight for the sake of safety. And that's okay. If you need to give it a little weight so that you don't fall, give it weight and then remove it to continue on through the series of movements. All right, so again, brush knee and play the lute. Shift left, right toe in and reach. Shift right, left foot, left hand back. Step left, bring that right hand around and shift as I push. Follow step right, play the lute. Step back right, turn hands. Shift as they pass, and when I get to that elbow, follow step left. How's that, Miss Linda?
I get
I know you will.
it.
I mean, they are our advanced moves for a reason because they're trickier. So let's go back to our basic 6 and add those 2 on to our basic 6. So starting from the beginning and commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Remember, there's 6. There's 1. Open, close. Brush knee. Single whip. Dear Lord. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. I'm going to move over here to start our advanced 6. Brush knee. Shift left. Right toe in and reach. Shift right. Left foot, left hand back. Step left. Bring this right hand around. Shift left as I push and follow step right. Play the lute. Step back, turn hands. Shift as they pass, and when I get to my elbow, follow step left. So there we are, our first 2 moves of advanced 6. Let's do it all together again. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open, close. Advance 6, starting with brush knee. Shift left, right toe in and reach. Shift right, left foot, left hand back. Step left, bring this right hand around. Push as I shift and follow step right. Play the lute. Step back right, turn hands. Shift as they pass, get to that elbow and follow step left. There's our base. What'd you say?
I said, I got it.
Yay! That is to be celebrated because that is very difficult, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So we'll keep practicing that next week, and we're gonna add on parry and punch. So what's tricky about parry punch is that there's a kind of a glitch in the rhythm. So I'm gonna show you going towards you.
Wait a minute.
Here's play the lute. Play the lute. All right, here's parry punch. So I follow step left. So parry punch. I step left and I'm flipping my hands just like that waffle maker at the hotel. Now I'm going to shift left as my hands pass, just like in play the lute. When I get to my elbow, I'm going to step right and flip my hands. Now I'm going to shift as they pass, and when I get to my elbow, that hand that's extended, my left hand, I'm going to put up like a guard. I stepped with my left foot, put up my guard. My right hand is going to reach back in my pocket, and I'm going to deliver that. And when my wrists match up, I'm going to follow step right. So that's what we have to look forward to. But because it's okay, play the lute. I meant parry punch. Parry, parry, and punch. So it's kind of off rhythm. But we'll do just like the others. We'll break it down. We'll put it together. We'll practice and get better and better at it. Once we get to parry, parry, and punch, we're home free because now all we have to do is release our hands, step back, shift, and bring our hands to our hips, follow step, and then push the tiger. We step forward, we push our hands up to shoulder height, and follow step. Then we go to the front, open and close, and then we do it all to the other side. So that block and close and push the tiger, those are like, oh yeah, I've survived way worse. I can do that. So let's give ourselves a little fist massage as we cool down. Thank our legs for working so hard because as we do so much weight transfer, which is how our muscles get stronger, our muscles get tired and they'll get sore a little bit. And so breaking up lactic acid and massaging those muscles is a good thing.
Just a minute.
We do here. All right, now let's create tension. Let's gather the tension and then let's let it go because that's not how we're going to live. We're going to gather the tension to know how to recognize it and then we let it go. One more time. Gather and release. Big shoulder circle. Inhale up, turn and push down. Inhale and exhale as we push down. Now we make a right fist. That represents our strength. Our left fingers together, our friendship. our thumb in our humility. We put that together in mutual respect. We say namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Miss
Thank you.
Linda. I'm glad you could join me today. Let me know if you need anything. And if not, I'll see you next Tuesday.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Love you.
I love you too.
All right,
Have a good
bye.
weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome.